The political case against Judge Sotomayor starts with the case of 18 white firefighters from New Haven, Connecticut.
We deserve to have the best officers.
The white firefighters all passed the test to become officers, but were not promoted because no black applicants passed. Their claim of reverse discrimination is pending at the Supreme Court, but at the appeals court level, Judge Sotomayor ruled against the firefighters.
I think it says that she has an ideological agenda that favors racial preferences and quotas.
While Senate Republicans were restrained in their reactions today, conservatives view Sotomayor as a liberal with an agenda captured in the judge's own words when describing the courts of appeal.
Court of Appeals is where policy is made.
She quickly realized the making policy line might be trouble.
Because we don't make law, I know. Okay, I know. I'm not promoting it, and I'm not advocating it.
Sotomayor has also bluntly acknowledged that race and gender matter to judges. Our experiences as women and people of color, she once said in a speech, affect our decisions.
She obviously has impeccable credentials.
But her friends insist Sotomayor's judicial record will prove her critics wrong.
There's just nothing in her record to suggest that she's knee-jerk or that she has an agenda.
Sotomayor is known to favor abortion rights, and in her 700 opinions is generally seen as liberal, but experts say is not always predictable.
You can't just paint her and say in every case she ruled this way, in every case she ruled against the government. It's just not true.
And so Sotomayor will face some very tough questions from Senate Republicans, but in all likelihood will be confirmed. Even her harshest critics admitted today that her Up From the Project's personal story makes her someone very hard to vote against. Katie?
All right, Wyatt Andrews. Wyatt, thanks so much. For some perspective, we turn to our senior political correspondent, Jeff Greenfield. And Jeff, will she really change the makeup of the court or have an impact on some hot-button issues? Because many people are saying Justice Souter is just being replaced by another liberal.
Yeah, the simplistic view of the Supreme Court is it's the abortion court, and they probably hold the same views. But there's so many key issues, all of them, for me, or many of them, revolving around how much power does the government have over business, over individuals. Can it take your property? Can it jail you if it thinks you're an enemy combatant? And we simply really don't know whether Sotomayor's kind of liberalism on the bench is the same as David Souter's, so she'll have very different views. It's very dangerous to try to predict that kind of issue.
Yeah. For example, when Justice Souter came in, he surprised a lot of people. There was such an emphasis today placed on her personal narrative. Why is her life story so front and center here, as compelling as it is?
I think this has happened in recent years as we see these justices move more into the arena of confirmation and publicity. Justice Clarence Thomas, his whole pitch was the so-called pinpoint strategy. Born and raised in a segregated small town, raised by a grandfather. It's because this process of voting for a justice is so bound up in the politics of liberalism and conservatism that you don't just want somebody who's brainy and smart. You want somebody who has an appealing personal story. Justice Ginsburg had that story about her mother and how much of a role she played in her life. It's the way it is these days. It didn't used to be that way.
All right. Jeff Greenfield. Jeff, as always, thanks so much.